God has given us a great moment. I am Dr. Darrell Trevino Kennedy, and I am the co-founder of the Life Male STEAM Academy, along with my better half, Reverend Talita Kennedy. This all started for me on this particular property 10 years ago, February of 2013. As I was looking at the Sears building, God spoke to me and said, "That is your new location." At that particular time, I was only thinking about church, to be able to expand the ministry that I believe that we were called here to do in the city of Pittsburgh. But a year later, on September the 11th, 2014, the 9th month, the 11th day, it was a Thursday, and I will never forget it. God spoke to me, and he said, "You have to save the boys." That's where the Life Male STEAM Academy came about. I used to come out to this property, and I would walk around this property. And as I walked around this property, God began to speak to me through the trash. As you see trash blowing and things of that nature, God used to speak to me through the trash. And people used to laugh at me when I said that. The first thing that God told me on that first day is that this was a dime on the ground. I kept this dime. The dime is dated 9/15/14. That was the day after, a few days after God told me to start the school. When I drove up on the campus that particular day, someone was trying to show someone how to park a bus, a school bus. And I've been coming out to this property for months. In fact, I've done 500 laps around this property. It takes me about 7 minutes to go around that Sears building. I did over 500 laps. And as I was doing that, God was speaking to me. And when I got out the car that particular day, it was a dime on the ground, which I have here. And what God said to me, that dime is $10 million. Today, we are standing here with a $1.5 million blessing toward what God had said. Also that day, I found this shirt on the ground, and I washed it and kept it now for 9 years. This shirt was purple. This was way before the school started. God said to me that night on September the 11th, the name of the school is Life, Living Intelligently, Fulfilling Expectations. He told me the color was purple and black, because he said it's a royal school. He told me the mascot, the young men would be kings. He also told me the curriculum would be STEM, and we've added the art, so it's STEAM now. God spoke that to me, and now, some 10 years later, we are sitting here on the property that God told me we were going to have. Can I get some help in here? So thank you for coming on today. We have a wonderful press conference that will be made today, and we are so thankful to all of you who are here. I'm going to turn it over now to Reverend Talita.
To God be the glory. To God be the glory. Good morning. I am Reverend Talita Kennedy, co-founder and CEO of Life. I first want to thank you, all of you, our esteemed guests, community partners, church congregation, and family, for taking the time to share this special day with us. Dr. Clark and Ms. Watts, we thank you for your presence here today and for whatever you saw in us that would deem us worthy to be recipients of the Pennsylvania Charter Schools Program grant. Again, I welcome you to Life Male STEAM Academy, where our days are filled with energetic and rambunctious boys, lost hats and coats, high fives and fist bumps, and constant reminders to stop running in the hallway, Mr. Bay, or tuck in your shirt, Mr. Ramsey. Staff, does this sound familiar? Here at Life, every student is referred to as Mr., Young King, or Scholar, and they are required to wear a uniform, a blazer, shirt, tie, and slacks. But do they always get it right? Of course not, because then they wouldn't be boys. Make no mistake, educating boys is not for the faint of heart. But if we had an opportunity to do it over again, we would still be all in, because there is no greater calling than that of changing lives for the better. At the helm, currently we have two administrators. Mr. James Chavis, our capable head of school. Mr. Chavis, wave your hand. He's behind you. And our dean, our cool dean of students, Mr. Malcolm Thomas, wave your hand, please. And our suave HR director and very classy Dr. Hill Coleman, our HR director. They lead the charge to carry out the mission of life, and that is to prepare all scholars for college success and career readiness. Our life leaders mentor and encourage scholars and staff while building relationships with parents and other community stakeholders. Here at Life, you will find teachers, we call them cast members, who are committed to the challenging but rewarding work of transforming boys into young men. Coming to work every day, using their creativity to stretch an already thin budget, to educate and inspire children, to expand their opportunities for learning in an after-school math club and our Accelerated Learning and Leadership Institute. As you peep into their classrooms, you will see our teachers using a STEAM-focused course of study and project-based group learning to equip scholars with the confidence and skills to utilize technology, problem solving, and critical thinking. You will hear them discussing partnerships with educational entities like the Smithsonian Learning Institute, the Educational Partnership Program, and CMU's Ready to Learn math tutorial program. At the end of a workday, after scholars have gone home, you will find our teachers huddled together, sitting around a table, collaborating, planning, strategizing on how to be better the next day. Here at Life, members of our PBIS team, under the leadership of Mr. Thomas, work hard at developing a culture that instills in our scholars such values as integrity, nobility, growth, and self-awareness. You will hear a constant reference to what we call here at Life the wells of life, because we believe that every scholar should be well-read, well-traveled, well-spoken, well-dressed, well-balanced, well-connected, and well-led. Here at Life MSA, we hold a crown over the heads of our scholars that challenges them to grow tall enough to wear it, no matter how hard they think the challenge is. I would like to share with you one of our most recent success stories, highlighting the accomplishment of one of our scholars, LaRon Robinson, who exemplifies the work we do here at Life. LaRon, I know you're here. Wave your hand. He's behind you. LaRon recently participated in the Soaring Shark Tank competition. LaRon worked tirelessly to prepare for this event with the help of his science teacher, Mr. Andrew Dixon. The Soaring Shark Tank competition is a prestigious event that provides young entrepreneurs with an opportunity to showcase their innovative ideas and business plans. Being selected as a participant was no easy task,
as participants must demonstrate exceptional creativity, critical thinking, ability to problem solve, and to think outside the box. LaRon didn't win the competition, but we told him we are still proud of you because he didn't quit, and that this experience will help him to be prepared for the next challenge that comes along. Again, can we just show our appreciation for Mr. LaRon Robinson? We cannot talk about the Life Male STEAM Academy.
This is Mr. Robinson.
Put you on the spot. I have to remind my husband sometimes, these are not your children. You can't put them on the spot like you would do them. We cannot talk about Life Male STEAM Academy and not mention the SMART Student Health and Wellness Center, as it is a critical piece to the mental and physical well-being of our scholars. Our SMART Center is located on the 3rd floor and is staffed by a medical provider, a licensed behavioral health clinician, and a registered nurse who provide on-site health care to our scholars and staff, all provided by Ginn Group Collaborative, whose CEO and founder is here today and will greet you shortly. I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to acknowledge those who have been so instrumental in getting us to this point. There have been many financial challenges these past 2 years, and we could not have done it without partners like Heinz Endowment and Eden Hall Foundation, who gave us a combined grant of $50,000 for us to travel across the country to observe best practices in education. The Jesus is Lord Fund, Ginn Group Collaborative, Giant Eagle, PPG Foundation, Gateway Health, Dollar Bank, Forbes Fund, members of the LMSA Board, members of the Rodman Street Missionary Baptist Church, and a long, long list of personal donations. I want to give a special thanks to Mr. Larry Gumberg, who has graciously and free of charge, I might add, shared his professional expertise with us on the journey toward opening the school. We are grateful for your guidance and your friendship. Again, on behalf of the entire LMSA community, we thank you so much for your continued support of our scholars and their families.
We will now have representation from our city and our county officials, beginning with our county executive, Mr. Richard Fitzgerald, followed by Mr. Castabinian, the executive director of our housing authority for the city of Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Reverend, and really congratulations to you on your success in getting this moving forward in such a big way, and not just to congratulate you, but to thank you. You are providing hope and opportunity for so many young people. And when I see people like Mr. Robinson and others, yeah, give the Reverend, absolutely. There's nothing we could do more importantly than to invest in the development of our young people. And what this place is doing, and what Reverend and his team is doing with the foundations, with the corporate community, with so many community partners, Mr. Gumberg and so many, are providing that hope and opportunity for our young people. And I would say to Mr. Robinson, if you look up and down this, almost every one of us have failed at everything. You know, like we start out, to keep doing the news. That's the thing that you've done, and we're so proud of what you're doing. And that's what this place is going to be doing. This place is going to instill not only the skills the hard skills, the math, the science, all the good things that, will allow you to move on to the next level, but also those soft skills about hard work, about stick-to-itiveness, about when something doesn't work right the first time, you keep going and you learn. You learn from your mentors, your other classmates, you learn from the teachers, you learn from the folks who have gone before and quite frankly have failed before, and then they learned how to make that transition. So we are all in to help you and continue the success of what you're doing. But more importantly, this really is for the future of this whole region, the city, the county, and this whole part of Western Pennsylvania, to give kids and their parents and their families a path a positive path to success in future endeavors for their life. So congratulations, Reverend, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Cass Sabinian, Executive Director of Housing Authority of the City of Pittsburgh. I'm responsible for about 30,000 residents for housing and everything that related to it. And the thing that's very important first I want to say is I'm kind of upset about something, and I need to get off my chest. Where were you guys in 1963? I definitely would have signed up for the program. So, as being the Executive Director of the Housing Authority, there are lots of residents, a whole lot of boys. I see a whole lot of things that happen that you read about in the news. And when the Reverend and his wife started talking about this program, like you said, I come to church, he started talking about the whole story. And, God talked to him, he pushed it. I mean, that whole story, if you listen to it, that means that you have to keep doing what you need to do because you can achieve. And these kids, these boys' future for the next generation, for leadership, he demonstrates that to them. And at this school, they're going to learn everything. They're going to learn things to be leaders in life, to be prepared for the next generation. Our job, we aren't here for a short period of time, but we have the responsibility to prepare the next generation. And that's what they are doing here. These leaders are going to make a difference. There are going to be more of them. The world is changing. The world is changing. You see it on the news every night. We need these leaders. And for this family to bring this to Pittsburgh, to make a difference, it's amazing. It's amazing. So again, where were you in 1963? But I hope by supporting you and bring every opportunity to spread the word about this school, because there are boys out there, they are seeing something different. They are seeing something different. The phone calls I get at night, I don't want to talk about them. What I see on the news, I don't want to talk about it. But I feel comfort in my heart that someone is making a difference to change the generation and bring new black leaders to the future. So thank you for the future. Super job. Thank you guys.
(1963) I wasn't even thought of. So that's where I was in 1963. Thank you. Now, one of the main components of our school is our Smart Health and Wellness Center. The architect, the founder, the CEO of that center all over the country is here with us. She flew in last night from Florida to be here on this very special day. Let's give it up for Miss Melanie Ginn.
Good morning. What a beautiful day to be in Pittsburgh, and what a beautiful day in the life of life. I am so honored to be here and be part of this celebration and to be in full partnership with people as amazing and extraordinary and inspirational as Pastor and Talita Kennedy. And I know a little bit about being on the road less traveled with SMART, and I can tell you it's lonely And being intrepid and having faith in a higher power and a calling and a purpose is essential. And so I can't tell you how much I admire them and how inspiring they are to me. I just wanted to share with you about SMART, that SMART stands for School Health Model for Academics, Reaching All, and Transforming Lives. So the three words I'd want you to remember is academics, all, and transformation. And the reason why this is such a synergistic partnership for us is because we understood that at Life, see, all sorts of hurdles on the road, that at Life, changing the trajectory of young lives is the business that they're in. And we understand at SMART that in this country, that the primary determinant of your socioeconomic status, and your health, by the way, as an adult, is your level of education attained and your competency level. And the primary determinant of that is your access to health. So at SMART, when we say access, we don't mean we're here if you need us, head on down to the whatever corner if you can get in and you have transportation. We come inside the school and we deliver what we call active access, which means in full partnership with supporting an educational environment that's optimal for learning, that we're here to meet the needs of every student in the building and identify risks and barriers, physical, behavioral, social, and emotional, that could deter them from their educational path and their success in school. So when we were asked to come and be in on the ground floor at Life, it was definitely an out-of-the-box model for us for a startup school and a charter school, and we knew that it could set the standard for the country for a different type of cohort of students and a customized plan to deliver SMART into a new life of students. So we're here to serve the students, their teachers, their families, and their siblings. Any person in the orbit of that child that could affect their education, we want to support. And I'm excited to tell you that as of last week, we had 1,000 medical and behavioral encounters, 1,000 appointments for the students here at Life. We're here in the building. Every time the doors are open for school, we're here with the most extraordinary team led by our Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Chris Conti, who was unable to be here today because of a family medical emergency. But he would share with you that anything that pulls a student out of the learning environment is harmful. So we're here to bring the care on site with a full lab, ability to diagnose, treat, and prescribe, and get students back to their teachers and back to learning. I also want to commend Colonel Jim Compliment, our family nurse practitioner who's on site here every day, Mr. Van Lee, who is our RN, who is also on his path to becoming a family nurse practitioner, and Gay Crowell, our National SMART RN, who also works here on site because she's a Pittsburgh native. They are the medical dream team, and they are aligned here with the Life Dream Team as the most and comprehensive support system to keep kids from falling through the gaps, and to bring proactive everything from glasses and dental care to medication management, splinting, suturing. Colonel Compliment was in theater in overseas, so he knows how to handle a wound, and so they're getting the best care possible, the best care there is here at Life to support their education. So I just want to say in closing that the last 2 years have been extraordinary. We know it's only going to get better and better from here, and we just celebrate everyone that's supporting this endeavor. I'd also like to say a note that the SMART Clinic here at Life was supported and sponsored by CVS Health and the CVS Health Foundation, who has supported over $500,000 to make sure that all of the costs are underwritten to get the clinic up and running and stabilized so that it can be here forever. And they joined the long list that Mrs. Kennedy mentioned about the support. And that's what these kids and this school needs, is ongoing support with people that have the vision and support it. So I want to thank you all for being here today, for being friends and supporters of Life and this incredible journey that we're all on here together. And praise God. Thank you. God bless you all.
This is a partnership with the Woodland Hills School District. We do not see ourselves as enemies because we are a charter school. We are here in this community to save these boys. We're here in this community to save these young people, to help them to have a future. So we are honored today to have Ms. Darnika Reed, one of the Woodland Hills School District school directors, and then Dr. Pamela White, an assistant to the superintendent of Woodland Hills. Please come at this time.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Pamela White, and I'm the assistant to the superintendent for administrative services at Woodland Hills. It's an honor to be able to represent the Woodland Hills School District in congratulating the Life Male STEAM Academy in receiving this grant. Congratulations. It's an accomplishment well deserved. With you all being a charter school, as you said, you're oftentimes viewed as our competition. However, at Woodland Hills, we don't view you all as our competition because we recognize the need of some of our most vulnerable population, young males. In fact, we oftentimes will encourage families to look into the opportunities here at Life Male STEAM Academy because we recognize how beneficial this program is to our families. You all provide a loving, encouraging, and supportive environment. And, you know, our hopes is that you all will save some of our students so that when they come to us, we can see that growth. So again, thank you for all that you all do, and we look forward to continuing collaborating with you all.
We have partners who work with us. One of our partners is from CMU, one of the premier schools in the world. So we have Dr. Aaron Gatz, who's the head of the Partnership Plus. Then that will be followed by Mr. Morton Stanfield, Senior VP Community Development for Dollar Bank and the pole mark of the Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Aaron Gatz, and I am the head of partnerships for PLUS, which stands for Personalized Learning Squared. It's a human-computer math tutoring program based at Carnegie Mellon University. I want to thank the administrators and the scholars and the teachers for inviting me into your school this year and for giving me the opportunity to work with your scholars every Wednesday for the last 6 months. I have had the privilege of working at Life Male STEAM Academy every week this year, and it's been one of the highlights of my career. I always say that Wednesday is my favorite day of the week because I get to spend it here. So I just want to spend a few minutes. I want to spend a few minutes telling you the top 3 reasons why I look forward to coming here every week. So first, it's the heart, dedication, and the expectations that teachers have for the scholars. I've learned that many of the teachers here did not follow the traditional traditional career path into education. Ms. Digbo is an architectural engineer. Mr. Skinner, who's probably upstairs teaching right now, spent much of his career as a business executive at General Electric. And Mr. Roberson, who I also think is in his classroom right now, I've worked most closely with Mr. Roberson. It's been an honor. He is an accountant, and he also has 4 sons who are all in STEM fields at top universities throughout the country. So for the teachers at Life Male STEAM Academy, this is not just a job. This is their life's calling. And they are living and showing up with their full selves every day that they come to work. And you can see it reflected in the scholars. So the second reason I love coming here every Wednesday is the scholars. I have worked in many schools throughout my life, and I can say without hesitation that Life Male STEAM Academy is the most joyful school environment I have ever experienced. Like their teachers, the scholars here show up every day as their full, authentic selves. They are energetic, they are passionate, and they are brilliant. I am confident that these scholars are future engineers, accountants, and business executives, just like the educators who mentor them here every day. I know this to be true of all the scholars, but I want to highlight 3 scholars in particular, who I see a few of them. Mr. Doucet, who can solve complex algebraic equations Mr. Doucet can solve complex algebraic equations quickly and completely in his head. Last week, he came into math class reading the critically acclaimed memoir Long Division while walking into math class. Mr. Khalil Taylor, who has already received a football scholarship for university, even though he's not even in high school yet. And Mr. Chase Brown, who interviewed with the local news TV station KDKA last week. He was interviewing about Life Mail STEAM Academy and our math tutoring program. And while doing so, he was also solving complex geometric problems on camera with a reporter with poise that I have seldom seen in 8th graders. Okay, so the last reason I love coming here every week is seeing our scholars thrive in math. Our tutoring program pairs each scholar with a tutor, and all of our tutors are Carnegie Mellon University students. And like Life Mail STEAM Academy, we envision STEM fields as having the potential to close opportunity gaps and to level the economic playing field. And we believe that with a solid footing in math and STEM fields more broadly, these scholars can create the futures they want for themselves. And with the mentors they have here at Life Mail STEAM Academy and Carnegie Mellon University, we know that the sky is the limit for them. So thank you for having me today. Congratulations on the funding and the recognition. And I look forward to many more years of partnership between CMU and Life Mail STEAM Academy.
Good morning. I'm Morton Stanfield, Senior Vice President of Community Development at Dollar Bank, and I'm also the polemark of the Pittsburgh Alumni Chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi. So while I'm wearing two hats in saying these words, the message is the same. Number one, congratulations. But more importantly, thank you. Thank you to Pastor Kennedy. Your faith, courage, and commitment in starting this school has inspired me personally. You know, too often in the funding community, we only want to fund established organizations, established schools. But if we really want to see change in our communities, we have to step out on faith and fund new initiatives. So thank you, Pastor Kennedy. This grant will help sustain this school and grow this school and make your mission come to fruition, your vision that you have. And Dollar Bank and Kappa Alpha Psi are proud to be a part of that. Thank you.
We have a glaring omission. We have one of our school board members, Ms. Tawana, to come and to speak to us now. And then that will be followed by one of our teachers, Mr. Scott Majeski, our social studies teacher and school counselor, followed by a parent who's talking about why his son is here. And then we have our top academic student, Mr. Cheo Stevenson, in that order.
You know, when I woke up and saw the agenda and my name wasn't on it, I didn't prepare any remarks. But thank you. Thank you for the opportunity of serving on the board. And actually, Rich Fitzgerald Moore have said anything I possibly could have prepared to say. I spent about 40, I'm a Pittsburgh native, spent about 40 years in DC independent schools, have served on many boards. But this one is particularly exciting because Pittsburgh is my home. And I saw the changes from my childhood to now. And so I'm happy to be a part of a thriving Pittsburgh community. And thank you for the charter school program grant that will allow us to serve in whatever capacity we can. Thank you, sir.
All right, good morning. I want to first say it's an honor that Pastor asked me to speak on behalf of the Life cast members here. I talked to my wife over the weekend about this as we were driving to a wedding in New Jersey with our 1-month-old who's screaming and yelling in the back of the car. She goes, just be yourself. So here you go. On August 9th, 2021, I was driving home from Boston area with my wife and then 1.5-year-old son. We had been driving for almost 12 hours, and needless to say, all of us were ready to be home. In the final minutes of the drive on Allegheny River Boulevard, coincidentally the same road I drive twice a day, Monday through Friday during the school year, the song Learning to Fly came on by the late Tom Petty. All of a sudden my exhaustion had been lifted and a newfound spirit had awoken in me. Maybe it was my love for Tom Petty and his music, or maybe it was the fact that my first day at Life Male STEAM Academy was the next morning. As I listened, one verse spoke to me in particular, and I'll share it with you now. Now some say life will beat you down, break your heart, and steal your crown. As the song finished, and as we proceeded to unpack the car and got settled in our house, I couldn't help but think about the mission and vision statements of Life Male STEAM Academy that I heard in my interview process, and how excited I was to start my first day. In my 2 years here as a cast member, I can confidently say that Life Male STEAM Academy has fostered a culture and learning environment to allow scholars to uncover their missing crowns and grow their wings. Education, especially at this level, is predicated on holistic growth for adolescents. 2 of our scholars, who were here last year, but who were very close to being removed from the program, have returned this school year and have thrived. These 2 young men have made extraordinary leaps of growth in their holistic development, and that, to their credit, and in their own very words, have said that they credited all the staff here at Life Male STEAM Academy for believing in them from day one and never wavering. Now, I could provide you with countless and multiple more examples of scholars who have grown in their time at Life Male STEAM Academy, but instead I'll finish with this. With this grant of $1.5 million, I am confident that our Life cast and all stakeholders in the mission of Life will further the overarching goal to allow every single scholar to grow their respective pair of wings and obtain their well-earned crowns. Thank you. Here, I'll stay in here until the next comes
up. All right, sorry everybody. If I get a little bit too emotional while I'm up here, because what you're seeing is a man who had to come a long way with his child. My son Peyton, he was the first kid, well actually the second kid that me and my wife had. Our first child died, so he was the first kid that we actually had that lived. And at a very young age, my son could not deal with crowds and people and had a massive amounts of anxiety. So we would go to church, he would cry constantly. He would go to school, preschool, get kicked out because he could not deal with being in a room full of people. My son, throughout his educational career, he struggled immensely throughout the process, going to many different charter schools, different school districts, each resulting in, I don't want to use the word failure, but each resulting in a different experience. Last summer, me and my wife, we were at our wits' end, not knowing what we were going to do with our child. My son, he went to Gateway Monside Middle School last year and totally gave up. What his end of the school year looked like, he would go to school every day. Every kid had an iPad or a tablet or a laptop, and he would go to class and he would completely zone out with headphones and not do any schoolwork, have no appetite for education. And me, coming from where I came from, I grew up in the inner city. Father was a heroin addict. My mom died when I was 10, so I had it really rough. And I was like, son, if you just get some education, everything will work itself out. And I'm trying to teach him. But as we know with children, sometimes they do not listen to their parents, but they need to listen to an external source. And not having that availability currently, in where I live at right now, we were kind of like, okay, where can we take our son to give him some of the help he needs and support that he needs in an environment that had an appetite for perseverance. And my wife, she's very diligent, and I praise God for her. She went online and she found Life Male STEAM Academy, and this is after weeks me and my wife were arguing about what we're going to do with our son. And when I looked at the website, I seen young African American boys in ties. And I know firsthand the importance of dressing up every day. I used to work at a law firm when I was 18 years old. I got picked by the inner city to work in a law firm by the Allegheny County Bar Association, and it was the first time I tied a tie, which I was like 17 years old. But what that did for me, it prepared me in life, right? So when I got into my career, it was easy for me to dress up and be able to be professional. When I seen that website, I was like, wow, this is my son's opportunity. And at this point in time, my son was 13 years old. And we were praying that we hope it works. Because typically with charter schools, the amount of resources they have aren't as much as like a large school district. So I was like, you know what, let's give this a try because this looks really good. And when I went to the orientation, the first person I saw was Mr. Thomas. And seeing his, he just wanted these kids to thrive, and you could just tell he was passionate about this. This wasn't a paycheck for him. This was more like, hey, I want these kids to be great, and I'm gonna do anything within my power for these kids to be great. And this is coming from a man. I was in the military. I went to Iraq, and I don't even cry because the military has conditioned me, to suppress my emotions. But I got there that day. I got there that day and I seen Mr. Thomas and I was like, hey, this is it. I was like, this is going to be it. This is what's going to help my son. So the first week of school, he comes in, he tries to be the same old Peyton. His name is Peyton Peacock. Tries to be the same old Peyton. He goes in the classroom with his laptop and he's like, yeah, I'm here and I'm nervous, I'm anxious, so the only way that I can cope is to drown myself in some technology. So he opens up his laptop. Well, there's a teacher here in Life Mail. His name is Mr. Roberson. Right, Mr. Roberson doesn't play, and it was math class. So this is Peyton's his time that he's going to fade out. So he has the laptop open. Mr. Roberson closes the laptop, saying, "We're not doing this today." My son Peyton, he has a fight or flight, so he was like, he gets up and dips out the room, and they go and bring him back. Next day comes, he tries to do it again, right? Because he's like, you know what? I'm gonna outlast Mr. Roberson, right? Mr. Robin said, another day, another dollar. You know what? Close the laptop. Boom. My son walks out again, comes back. He's like, you know what? I guess this is not going to work. So that was the last day my son opened up that laptop when he wasn't supposed to. And it just showed like, hey, these guys are going to not give up on me like every other teacher and place and institution that he dwelled in. So fast forward now, he had some bumps in the roads as we all do. Mr. Chavis didn't give up on him. And now my son gets up in the morning, he puts his tie on. He stays up late doing his homework. With the abilities that he has. He went to Carnegie Mellon last week and you'd have thought it was Christmas. This is coming from a kid who does not have he had no appetite for success and or education. This morning, now I think they have like some soccer goals out back, and now my son plays soccer all the time. And this is a kid who despises sports. Despises it. But he gets up in the morning. This morning, he got up, put his shirt on, his tie and everything, his jacket, and he was practicing soccer in my backyard. So he has an appetite for soccer now. And these are things that I'm sorry I'm taking a little bit too much time, but I just want to let you all know what my experience was and what this school means to me. I don't know much about grants and stuff like that, but what I can tell you is this place does work. So I just want to close out by saying thank you, Dr. Kennedy. I know everybody's saying thank you, but I actually have a special thank you, like from the bottom of my heart. And when you said you had a vision of Save the Boys, I just want to say thank you for saving my boy.
Hello. My name is Mr. Cheo Stevenson. At life, we are all called Mr. We are all called scholars, and we are all called kings. I have the honor and privilege and responsibility of being the top academic student at life. The teachers and staff at life believe in me and have pushed me to be the best that I can be. I really enjoy the brotherhood with my fellow classmates and the daily interactions with my teachers and administration. These past 2 years have been a great learning experience for me, and I look forward to growing into the king that I was created to be. What I love most about my time at life is the brotherhood. I love interacting with my fellow scholars, people like me who have gone through their own struggles. No matter what they may be, they come to school, and we all try our best. I've met mentors and people who will help me throughout my life, and no matter where I go, I will know I always have a helping hand because I came here. I would encourage others to come to life to experience that. You need a brother in life, and you need someone who can teach you and give you the slight push that you need to get through your day. And because I came here, I experience that every day. Mr. Skinner is my mentor. When I first came, he was the TA, but he's just always been a help. And no matter what I do, he keeps me calm. He keeps me, sane and helps me through my days, no matter what. And I'm just thankful for that. And Pastor, and I will be attending one of the premier boarding schools in the country next year. And my time at life has helped me to prepare. And like I was saying, my time at life has helped to prepare me for that. Like I said, Pastor was one of the biggest, my biggest motivations to go there, as his son went there, and he kind of helped me to be able to be ready for that and prepare for that. It's just kind of, you got this, you can do it, just keep believing in yourself, and God will always help you with wherever you go. And my career goal is to attend MIT and become an engineer. And I just want to give another thanks for life giving me everything I need. And I want to thank you for giving us this grant so that our school can become better, and that the next, I don't want to say the next me, but the next person like me can come through, and they can come through and learn and have the same experiences that I did, so they can go to a boarding school, your Shady Sides, your Winchesters, and become the best person they can be. So thank you.
Bring tears to my eyes. Now we want to turn it over to our very special guests who are going to present us with this wonderful grant. We'll begin with Ms. Cheryl Johnson-Watts, who is the PACSP Program Director, and that will be followed by Dr. Ann Clark, the CEO of the PA Coalition of Charter Schools.
Good morning. I almost fell because I'm blown over by the joy that is so evident today. It's a very special day. I thank the Kennedys for including us in this day. We don't take it lightly. And we know that you don't take it lightly either. Just simply by your presence and just the sheer emotion that I sit and experience here with you. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support that you have shown for this school. Thank you so much for the support that you are going to show going forward, because it takes a village, and you are a true example of the village, and we so appreciate this. This grant, the Pennsylvania Charter Schools Program Grant, is a grant that was awarded to the Pennsylvania Coalition of Public Charter Schools. And you'll meet our fearless leader, CEO, Dr. Ann Clark, momentarily. This grant was awarded in September of 2020. And within the time of that grant, 6 grants have already been awarded. 3 were chosen this year. And we will close out with a full count of 18 schools. Each school receives a base award of $900,000, and then each following year, they are able to unlock additional funding to bring them to 1.5. I want to share with you how this school checks all the boxes for those additional $600,000 to bring it to 1.5. 1, either being present or working with children from qualified opportunity zones. It's great you have Housing and Urban Development here today because their map identifies where these zones are. The second is by the percentage of economically disadvantaged students that are served by this school. And the third is by the percentage of Black and Hispanic students that are served by this school. There is no doubt that this school checks all the boxes. We want to congratulate them on their unending service, and we're going to present them at this time with a check to represent them. Dr. Ann Clark, CEO of Pennsylvania Coalition of Public Charter Schools.
Thank you, Cheryl. Don't I have the best colleague, Cheryl Johnson Watts? I honestly could listen to her speak all day long. It's so eloquent. Just about a year ago, I had come to Life Male STEAM Academy for the first time. And I'm really a joyful person. I'm not really an emotional person. But truthfully, when I went up to your medical center, I really could not stop crying. Just because I knew what it meant for children. And I spent 22 years in a charter school myself, serving 19,000 children. And I know what that means when you have not just commitment and love, but you have what children really need. And so to be here a year later and now to be able to present this grant, this great big check, is really a thrill. It's a thrill of my career, and this is why we do this work with the Coalition, is to really look for high quality charter schools in Pennsylvania and promote them. So here we go with the check. That's what I really had to do. Do we want to go in front of the podium and then we can do a really nice picture? Does everybody want to move forward too?
Board members, please come. Dr. David Griffin. Yes. We also have our grant writer here. Yeah. Come on, Melinda. Woo!
You come right in here. Yeah.
Mr. Chavis, I'd like for Mr. Chavis to stay. Mr. Bivens, we're getting ready to have a transition of leadership. Mr. Jim Chavis is retiring after getting us started for 2 years. Let's thank God for him on today.
Well, thank you, Pastor. I won't be long, but I just want to say it's been such a joyous honor to be the head of school for Life Male STEAM Academy. We've done some wonderful things over the past 2 years. Of course, would not be able to do it without such a wonderful cast, all the team members that have put in their hearts and soul into these boys. That's what makes it work there. So thank all of you. Thank the parents for being there to support us through this. We have a wonderful PTO committee. So again, thank you all. Let's keep it going. I'm going away for a little bit, but I'll be back, y'all.
Like for our new head of school to come and greet us, Mr. Kevin Bivens.
Thank you, everybody. I just want to challenge everybody. Whatever the kids have done so far, expect twice as much. Expect twice as much. Because that is my expectation of the young black males that stand before me and expect things from all of us. So I challenge you to challenge me. Whatever you have of me so far, I'm telling you to double that as well. Because if they have an expectation, if we have an expectation, and I mean a high expectation, expect the same from me. Because I will deliver that to you. I think that someone told me a long time ago that, Kevin, that you're not going to be college material. And my mother decided that wasn't going to be your outcome. And I'm going to tell you this, that's not going to be your outcome either. Whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you expect to do, expect those skills to come from here, because this will be your life foundation. Thank you.
Mr. Thomas is going to come and do our affirmation and give us our final remarks. And we have some refreshments for you. Want to take you on a tour of the facility. So our student ambassadors are going to do that. I want all of our teachers who are here outside, I know many of them are with the students, all of our cast members, if you would just raise your hand and come forward at this time so that you can help, and our students, that you come forward and help Mr. Thomas with our affirmation after he gives his final remarks.
So before we make our remarks, I just wanted to say that for those who don't know, the cast here at Life, we've all come from different places. You know, I worked in PPS, Mr. Chavis was from Woodland Hills, and we all, I think in part at least, came here because we felt like we wanted to create something different. And to create something in addition to what was out there already, to really do something for our boys. I have personally lost over 40 of my students to gun violence and murder. And so to work here with young men like this and people who want to do something about that, and to have such a beautiful relationship with the Woodland Hills School District and everyone here is a major thing. I want to say something real quick to Pastor Kennedy. I was at another school and I had some very serious health problems. And probably on my worst day, he didn't know anything about this. I was laying in the dark. I had pneumonia, I had COVID, I had a herniated disc, and I had a kidney that needed to be removed. I had just been told this. And out of the blue, somehow, he called me. He didn't know what was going on. And he said, "Hey, Brother Thomas." I said, "Hey, Pastor." He said, "Hey, I just wanted to call you. We're on my spirit. I wanted to pray with you." And I'm laying in the dark, in the room. It's a true story. And I don't know if he's still here. Dr. Tony Mitchell, I told him about it. He said, "I think this is a message that you're supposed to be working at this school." And he prayed with me, and I said, "So what's going on with that school?" He said, "Oh, we're opening in September. We're waiting for you." And so I just want to say that we feel like we have joined a movement here. And you were a part of that. All you guys were a part of that. And so we had to go on a radio show. And I was so excited because you ever feel the enormity of what you're doing? Like this is something I felt like I had prepared all my life to do. And I was sitting in the car in front of a Staples, and I was like, what do I need to say on this radio show? And I just started giving myself an affirmation. And so this is what I said to myself, and this is became our affirmation for the school. And so every morning we get together and we say the following. We talk life.
We talk life.
We walk life.
We walk life.
We speak life.
We speak life.
We seek life.
We seek life.
Who are we?
We are life.
We serve life.
We serve life.
We respect life.
We respect life.
To preserve life.
To preserve life.
And protect life.
And protect life.
Who are we?
We are life.
We love life.
We love life.
We live life.
We live life.
So we shine bright.
So we shine bright.
And we give life.
And we give life.
Living.
Living.
Intelligently.
Intelligently.
Fulfilling.
Fulfilling.
Expectations.
Expectations.
Who are we?
We are life.
Who are we, scholars?
We are life.
Who are we, leaders?
We are life.
What time is it?
Lifetime.
What time is it?
Lifetime.
What time is it?
Lifetime.
And that is how we start our day.
Again, thank all of you for joining us on today. We have some refreshments inside. We want to take you on a tour. Our student ambassadors and some of the other young men are in class, so you get a chance to just look at them as they are participating and carrying out the work that we believe God has called us to do, and that is to save the boys. I want to close out in a prayer and benediction. God, we thank you for this wonderful day. We thank you for the leadership that you have placed at this school. We thank you for the CEO of the PA Coalition of Charter Schools and our program director. We thank you for the traveling mercies for them. We thank you for all of our partners who are here. I see the Forbes Fund, and I see others, God, who have come here to work with us, the one who did our website, and all the other people that have come together from our church, from the 100 Black Men of Pittsburgh, and all the various others who are gathered here today. We pray, God, that you will continue to bless us, as well as our property managers here at this facility. We pray that you will continue to lead us and guide us and help us to become the school that you've called us to be. We thank you, we love you, and we trust you. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? Amen.